Okay, so in the last video, we had finished building up our wallet card, but we were remaining with adding some icons to it. I'm going to show you a couple ways you can add icons to your Figma designs. The first one is to simply download them. So there are a few websites out there that you can download icons from. My favorites are icons8.com and fonts.google.com/icons. So you can just search that in your browser and you'll be taken to the relevant websites. So there are a couple of different icon styles. We've got outlined icons, we've got filled icons, we've got glyphs, we've got two-tone icons, and we've got rounded icons. What we're going to be using here are the rounded icons. I'm going to just change my icon category to round, and I'm going to search for, the first thing we need is the addition sign, the plus sign. So you just say add and it'll come up there. There we go. So you can choose an icon here and you'll be given a few options for downloading. You could download it as a PNG or an SVG. Now, the other options you see up at the top, you could select either web, Android, or iOS. Now, these are just instructions for developers who would like to add them directly to their app. So you don't need that. You could just click download. So when you switch it back to the web option where you can see SVG and PNG. Now you want to download an SVG. An SVG is a vector. It stands for scalable vector graphic. It means that no matter how much you zoom, it will stay smooth. However, if you download a PNG, it has a set size. So as you zoom, you're going to start losing quality. It will get fuzzy before it gets outright pixelated. We're going to download the add icon. Now, before we download, actually, let's change a few options about it. So first of all, we could adjust the fill of our icons, right? So this is a new addition. You could increase the weight. So this is for when you want to maybe show an active tab. You could either fill it or make it bolder. We're just going to reset that. I guess that's it. Yeah, so I'm just going to hit the add and save an SVG. Now this will save it to our downloads folder, but I'm just going to drag it from Chrome straight into Figma. And there you have it. You have an icon. Now it is a bit big, so we're just going to size it down. We're going to cut it down to size. Make it smaller. Drag that on there. Make it smaller still. I'm going to make it about 12 by 12. Yeah, that doesn't look right now, but we'll fix it. Next thing we need to do is change its fill from black to white. So FFF or 6 times will give you white. There you go. And now we have our icon. First things first, I'm going to move this more leftwards. Then I'm going to drag this guy more over there. I'm going to Control X, tap on the group, and then Control V. This will allow me to paste that icon inside that group that I created. Now I'm going to drag this over to the left and I'm going to highlight the text again and Control G, make a second group. Now what this will allow me to do is center both the text and the icon at the same time. So when I click center, they both move at the same time. Whereas if they weren't in a group, let's just take that back. Whereas if they weren't in a group and I selected both and I tried to center them using this alignment tool, you could see that that doesn't actually work well. Right, so let's just group them and center them. Right, next we need a couple of other, we need a check mark. So we'll just go back to our icons.google.com and add check. We'll search for check mark. So you can see you really need to know the names of these icons for you to be able to find them. So it can take a bit of searching here and there. I like using this website because it has a good search engine, so it'll kind of guess what you wanted and bring your options along that line. Whereas if you go elsewhere, you might have a harder time. So we're just going to import our check mark. Check or done would work here. Just download another SVG. There you go. So we've added a couple of icons and our design is coming along. However, you probably have already, figured out that this is quite tedious and not at all the right way to do it. Well, it's not the wrong way to do it, but it's the more tedious way to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use plugins. So the plugins we're going to be using are for icons. So there's several plugins you could get on Figma And how you do it is by either coming up here to the little Figma logo and going to plugins. Now, I already have quite a few installed, and we'll go over these in the next video. So subscribe so you don't miss that. So we're going to go to Browse Community Plugins. Now this will open up a new tab where we can search the plugins we want. So for icons, there are a couple of icon plugins that I really like. The first one is obviously the material design icons, and hit search. This plugin will specifically help you get the very icons that we were downloading here. So you get them straight into your design as SVGs or PNGs. You can choose. We'll go over how to use that in a minute. The next one we have is Iconify. This one searches icons from various different icon packs. So the different icon packs with different styles. The other one is a bit more limited, especially the free version. It's called Iconly. It's called Iconly V2.3. This is the one that you want to install. If you do happen to get the paid version, then you'll be able to get more icons. But this free version works for most general things, but it's quite limited. I do like the designs that they have, so I still use it anyway. Right, okay, so let's go back to our design and import some icons. Right, so the first one we need to import is a search icon, which is a magnifying glass. So we're going to go to plugins and choose material design icons. That will open up the plugin. However, in Figma, you can only have one plugin open at a time. Well, now that the plugin is open, we're just going to search for search, and there you go. Remember to have the rounded option selected. You have a few options here: field, outlined, rounded, sharp, two-tone, but also you have some icons from icons 8. Let's just import that. The next thing, we want to import a card of some sort. So we're just going to search for card. We're going to import this one. The next one we want to import is a menu. So that one. And the final one is money symbol. So we're going to get the $sign. There we go. Now, see how easy it is to add all these icons. They're added as their own frames, and you've added them just like that. Plus the added benefit of not having your downloads folder or wherever your download location is cluttered with a lot of stuff. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish the rest of this video by adding the text that belongs to these icons. Another thing is, if you want to see the distance between two elements, all you have to do is have that element highlighted. So we have this text highlighted right now, rather the text box, and just hold out and you can see how far it is from different parts of your design. So it's 256 pixels from the right edge, 31 from the left, 52 from below, and 134 from the top. What we're interested in is how far is it from our icon, and it's 4 currently, and this is what we want. So now that we know how far it is and it's all aligned, we're going to hold shift and select our icon, our search icon, and then Control G to group them. Remember to always rename your layers. So this group is going to be, I'm just going to name it the name of the label text, which is find agent, and then we're going to move that there. Now I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process for the rest of the icons, and I'll catch you in a bit. Right, another way of managing distance between two elements is if you have both of them highlighted, you can see this little bar that comes up, and that bar, when you hover over it, it will tell you the distance between the items. So when I click and drag on that, you can see that it increases and decreases the space between the elements. So that's just another way you could do this. Now, we've got all these 4 options open, and how we would arrange them is we could either drag them one by one and make them look even, or we could just come up to our alignment panel here and just click tidy up, and it will distribute the things as needed. So I'm just going to group these as well, and we name them wallet options, and I'm going to center that as well. There, that looks perfect. Right, the next thing on this particular card is the buttons.